All right.
I forget. No, it was a very interesting topic. When we said we didn't have enough time last week, so we said
how to make a living out of paida lajin.
Oh yes, that's right.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. How to make that a profession.
Interesting topic.
Yeah, that is. So anybody wants to give comments on it?
Well, Shri, we're going to start with the reading, no?
Well, let's discuss the topic and then we can do the reading, right? Unless you have a reading here which relates to the topic.
Okay, whatever you like, you say. It's okay. I thought we were going to start with the reading. Never mind.
Yeah, let's do the topic first, right? I don't think it will take very long.
Okay.
So, Jane, any comments on this? You probably more experienced on this side.
Okay, I'd like to share my experience first.
Right.
And 10 years ago, I know about Master Xiao, and then I joined his workshop for about 9 days at that time. And during the workshop, I met Master Xiao, and I talked to him that I would like to join his group as a learner or as a volunteer, something like this. And then he said, okay, you may give me your resume. And then, yeah, I write a resume. And then I also share the story about my wife, because at that time, my wife have a very serious problem on her back. So so I bought a lajin bench, and then she used the lajin bench for a certain time, and then she get much improvement. So that I write about this story, and then I submit to Master Xiao. And yes, and she and Master Xiao said, okay, you can join us as a volunteer first. So I start my career in the workshop, which is conducted in southern city in China. The name is Shenzhen, and I start to work as a volunteer, and then I help the people to paida during the workshop. And at that time, I paida for maybe a day. I paida for more than 4 hours for other people, not myself. And this is experience can help me to get more learning from the paida, how it can help people to improve their health. So after several months, I start to work as a coach in the workshop. And then after several months, I work as the supervisor to take care of the Shenzhen workshop, and I take in charge of the whole process, how to recruit the people, to order the hotel, and to organize the accommodation and the dinner, and I also manage the.
Jane, hello.
Sorry. I also manage different all the things happen in the workshop. So after maybe almost a year, and I moved from Shenzhen to Shanghai and to Yangzhou, to different cities to be in charge of the workshop. And then after 1.5 years, because something happened in China for Master Xiao, so that the government don't allow him to don't allow the organization to promote the paida lajin in China, and then we go home. And after go home, I think, okay, this workshop things is quite good to help people to know about the paida lajin, and also they can get much benefit to improve their health. So I talked to my friend, and we start to start this kind of workshop in my city, which is Guangzhou. It's also in the south part of China, and we ran the apartment with 3 rooms, and then we stay close near to the apartment, and then we post the workshop information, and then recruit the people in the website, and then some people from different cities will come to our place, and then my friend and I help these people to go through the workshop process, and then we help them to paida and lajin, and teach them how to practice meditation and jogging and wall hitting, something like this, the whole everything in the workshop. And we did that for almost 2 or 3 years. And yeah, this kind of business model is work, and then we can support us. And but at that time, the income is not much, but it still can afford almost everything of us. So this is my experience. And then because I came to US in 2015, and so my partner returned to his hometown, and then he have another places to run at in his hometown, but that place is so far away from a big city, so he didn't have a good income at the time, and I returned to China, stay in China for about 9 months in 2020. This is a pandemic time, and because at that time in China the pandemic had been controlled very well, so that in Guangzhou, when I stay in Guangzhou, I also rent another house, and it's not a house, it's just an apartment, and then I also put some information to share with the people that, okay, if someone need a paida service, then you can come to my place, and then I can help you to do the paida and to help you to improve your health. I didn't really conduct the workshop at the time because the apartment is small, so I cannot do the workshop. So even just the paida service, I think it can still afford my living and the rental, and yeah, when I was in Guangzhou. So yeah, this is what I can share with you, that if you really want to help people with the paida service, and you can really try this kind of model, because I think the customer, there are so many customers need this kind of service, but you got to let them understand you can help them, and then when they come to you, and then you can provide this service to them, and yeah, that can be one of that income. Another income you can do is you can run, of course, you can run workshop, because in the workshop you can recruit more people in the same time, you can teach more people in the same time, and then the income will be bigger. Because if you just provide the paida service, you can just service one every time. So it's, yeah, I think the income is not much. But if you can run a workshop, you can serve maybe more than 10 people in a time. And then you can have more income by doing that. And so this is what I can think of during this time to make the living by doing the paida, lajin, and services. Okay.
Jin, I have a question.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jin.
For your one-on-one clients, do your clients come already knowing the benefits of paida lajin and have some background knowledge, or is a big part of your business just educating them prior to actually doing paida lajin on them?
Well, I can say if you just want to have income to by educate them, and in this period, it's hard for me because I don't have many network in US, so I can just teach them freely, just freely. But if you can run the workshop, you can do both. I mean, the workshop, you can educate them, you can charge them by educate them, and then you can also coach them to practice this skill during the workshop. And because people can help each other to paida, so at that time they can also get the benefit by doing paida on themselves, or the other people can help them to paida, so that they can still see the benefit during even just within 5 days or 7 days, they can still get the benefit. Yeah, and then they can understand more about this skill. So I think workshop should be a very good model, in my opinion, if it is if the situation, if the condition is available. Because I also heard.
Yeah, nice desk area. It's high. There's a bar.
Yeah, I also heard that there is a lady in Seattle at that several years ago. She conducted the workshop and then charged maybe 1,500 each person, right? Surely, if I don't, I remember.
Yeah, it was quite a big amount, I think.
Yeah, quite a big, but I think this is quite a big amount. But
7 days.
Yeah, but I think even 1,000 should be reasonable. Yeah, but you don't have to charge so much. But I think people would like to afford if they really want to learn that and then get the benefit from this. So yeah, this is my experience, my thought.
Yeah, I think that Jin, what Bradley is getting to is, when you are in China, many people already know about paida lajin, and because they know about it, and once they see somebody can help them do paida, they understand and they come to you. But here in the West, there's very few people who know about paida lajin. Very few. I mean, if I look in my area here, there's very few, only those people whom I have told about it. So if I provide a service of doing paida for others and charge money for it, there's hardly anybody who will show up, right? But you have to have a population which is aware. So the education, so the market is not here because of the education, right? So if the market is here, people want this service, then easy to get into the market and make money. But I think what we are trying to do is create a market, create the awareness,
right,
that this technique exists and this can help you quite a bit. So once that market is created, then you can enter the market, right? So I think we have a bigger challenge, which is creating the market in here. So
I think if I don't know everybody's background, but if you can hook in with
a wellness center, like a yoga or chiropractor or places where that give wellness seminars and just present it there. I found there was a lot of interest when I was doing like 1-day seminars. I got more people for paida lajin than for cooking classes. And my center was basically for cooking. And when I advertised it, there was a lot of interest because you don't really have to do anything with paida lajin. You just, you get a little lecture and then you try the bench and then you do a little bit of slapping. So I think that if you can connect with those types of places, you know what I'm talking about, like even gyms, maybe, I don't know, what's in your community, because once a few people come, I think the word spreads quickly. It's so effective.
Well, one of the things we know that there is no shortage of sick people. So if that being the case, you get one person that you can connect with that's looking for answers. They tell other people, they tell their experience, and you're off and running in some ways.
Yeah.
True. It's a good point.
But
yeah, I think people do have their own network. For example, after when I came to US in 7 years ago, I don't have any friends in Portland area, but we do have a Facebook-like communication tool, community tool, and we use the Chinese one, which is WeChat. So in the WeChat, we also can have the so many local Chinese people in that group, and then I just post some information on that group, and then I also have some free share meeting in my house, so that at that time there were also about 20 people come to my house, and then they would like to know about this method, and then they really practice this method. And so to start this, we really need to start in the local first. Just like Alice mentioned, yeah, we need to go to some places to share this information in the gym, maybe in the healthcare center, something like this, so that people can know this information. And then, yeah, we let people to try it, and then, but we need to run this kind of gathering in a regular base, so that people, whenever they have a question and that whenever they want to heal a certain problem, then they know, oh, okay, who I can, who and where and when I can go to consult this information.
I have an idea, a question, actually, for Jin.
Mhm.
Because you do have the advantage of being bilingual. I think that I live in a place where there are a lot of Chinese people, a lot of Asian people live in Las Vegas, because they're leaving California in record number and coming here. And maybe I could even get you to post on the WeChat for Las Vegas that you know somebody who can practice with them or show them in person. You know what I mean? I might try to contract with you to get some interest, because I don't know anyone in the Chinese community here, but I feel like Chinese and Asians are much more open to this. Don't you agree, you guys?
yes, yeah, I'm absolutely, because there's already a level of awareness within the Chinese community.
Yeah.
Just
So
like
millet,
there's awareness in Indian community about millets.
About millet,
Yeah,
and Ayurvedic, So I think
Yes,
that might be something that everybody could tap into Jin's talent.
Well, just to say one thing, I have a book about paida that is in Chinese. Look, I couldn't read it for anything, but I come across people, I say, oh, and I've given it to people that had massage places, you know, and hey, check this out. And they've read it, give the book back to me. So, you know, and at least expose them, even though they you know, even though it's in Chinese and maybe they know about traditional Chinese medicine, hey, they may never have come across this. So at least exposure. I mean, that's one of the things that I have. I have a couple of Chinese books that, you know, I've given to people just to read, and they can give it back. Whether they do or not, that's, you know, up to them. But
That's really a good point. Maybe in my case, it needs to be outreach, because we do have a pretty good Chinatown here, you know, Chinatown, Koreatown. And I think shop owners may be more open to it, you know what I mean, than just the customers even. I need to get out there and, you know,
I'd like to help.
and talk to people. Yeah.
I have a couple.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's all I have. Thank you.
I just wanted to ask you, is there a certificate or anything that is given? The reason I'm asking is because somebody like myself, I consider myself an amateur when it comes to paida. I don't feel like I have qualifications to treat anybody, but maybe if there was, and most people will say, well, what are your qualifications when it comes to this? You know, in America, that's how it works. And I would not be able to say anything. I attended a few workshops. That's all I know.
You could slap your elbow for a minute as hard as you can, and that could be a qualification alone. Because then they do it for 5 seconds on them, and they'll see how much pain it is and how much pain you have to endure just to get to a point where you can start.
Oh, I didn't think of that, but I'm not sure that that would be enough.
And you can tell them about your foot and your involvement. You know, you could maybe document your involvement. I went to this. I helped my own foot. I helped my wife's foot. Whatever. Just document.
I have, but I'm still having trouble convincing my own family to go this way.
That's the way it is. Even if you opened a bakery, you couldn't get everyone in your family to eat there, you know?
Yeah.
You know,
and the other issue that I was thinking when Jim was talking about, especially in America, I'm not sure so much in a country like Costa Rica, but maybe there, people are quick to sue you if something goes wrong. Or like, look what happened to Master Shah. We have to take from his experience, right? We don't want to all end up in a bad place. So how do we guard from that? This is my big question, because I have the good intention. I'm not even worried about making money. Let's say, you know, I could start on a weekend and not worry about making the money. I could open up the basement in my house. But are you opening yourself up for a lawsuit or other problems like that? I mean, I don't know. So
I can share my experience. So at one time, I'm with the Sai Baba group. They were holding a retreat in Jacksonville, Florida. And they asked me to run a yoga class. And they were going to be, I had to repeat that 3 days during the retreat, the yoga class. So I told them I'll do yoga, but I'll add a little bit of Chinese in it. And they said, yeah, do whatever you want. So the first session into the room, there were like 25, 30 people. And I did 1.5-hour session, and I showed them paida and little improvise with the chair, a little bit of lajin. So that session was over. In the evening dinner time, one lady came to me and said, Shri, I don't know what it is, but I've had this eye problem for a very long time. And I just, after this 5 minutes of paida, I just feel a difference. Maybe it's because of this, I don't know. But she said, but tomorrow's session, I'm telling everybody, so you can expect a lot of people. So the next day's session, there were like 70 people. The room was chock full. I mean, it was a small room in a hotel. It was chock full because the word spread. And after the session, so many people, oh, can I do this? Can this solve this problem? Can this? And everybody has problems. And since then, several of them invited me in their own cities to hold some workshops. But so this is one point. So the other thing is, I'm also trying to dig what happened with Master Shah, right? What led to that debacle, right, with Master Shah. So I think one thing we have to be careful of is difficult diseases, right? So difficult diseases, keep away from them. Tell them this, we cannot handle it. So people with difficult, and there are a lot of people with difficult diseases. I know we can get a lot of glory if you fix some difficult diseases, but keep away from, I think this is what really pulled Master Shao down finally, was difficult diseases. So actually he was indicted in 2 countries, UK and Australia. So Australia was a type 1 7-year-old kid who died. And in UK, a lady, she was totally in nature cure, and she used to offer her home for paida lajin workshops, and she was diabetic, and she decided not to take her medication, whatever happened, and she died during the workshop. So it is, and of course, because she was dead, one of her nephews or nieces, I think they thought they could make money out of it. So, and this is what happens. And Master Shao, because he sells a lot of books and all that, so he has money. So this is what happens in the West. They'll find any excuse to go after you. So be very selective, I think. Be very, very selective in the West. I mean, India, I went once Sai Baba Ashram, and I used to get so many people, morning and evening. And of course, I could talk freely with all kind of. There, you don't have that kind of concern that you have in the West. So as long as we are careful and learn the lesson, what Master Shao had to go through, I think we will be okay. But again, I think, how do we create a market? Workshop is one of the means. And I mean, I've been able to create a little bit of awareness here. So few people locally here, and South Florida, where I used to live also, there's several people there who are into it, and they're doing independently. But still, it's not large enough. The group is very, very small. But Chinese, maybe we can get, as Jackie was saying, if she can access through WeChat or whatever, the Chinese community, they can be a source of propagating this, promoting this further, right? Once you get more of them, because they're probably much more willing to accept this. Yeah, David, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that the whole detoxing, Americans don't seem to understand what's going on. You know, and I can remember in one of the workshops, Master Shao said, look, this deals with the psychological, the physical, the mental, you know, in a workshop. And so people in America don't understand that when someone goes through a healing situation, what it's like. So, you know, I think that's one of the things that people are in this country ignorant of.
Good.
Yeah.
Can we have a common, give some input? You are so experienced.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hello, Carmen.
It was nice to hear your discussion, and I appreciate any meaning of you. And do you know, Master Shao is saying, of course, we are not living in a perfect world. And of course, sometimes it's mistake, but we have to learn from mistake as well. Jin also has learned from the things, and he has decision to do selective, to do less, and to make it more easier for people. And Master Shao says that we work with invisible. And what is invisible? Our emotion, our psychic, our attitude, our head, our perception. And what is this? Who is this person? Illnesses belong to this person, this way of thinking, this way of life, this lifestyle. And if he really want to change, doesn't matter his condition, because this is his responsible. And if he have this awareness and is ready to help himself, helping others, the process will go step by step, and the mistake going to be less and less. With Daniel, this case I know very good, Shiddite in UK. I've been there, and I did with Daniel workshop in his house in Bulgaria as well. But she's such person which wants to be quick, super good, and take away everything. Speed slowly, because it was my experience during this situation as well. And of course, I have some profession in this, but Pablo, any one of you who wants to doing professional, it's like, say to the people, you do such simple exercise like lajin, like slowly increasing paida. You observe yourself and you discover yourself, and everything comes from inside of us. We can imagine anything else, but we can achieve it step by step. And also be in contact with others. In the Bible is written, if the 2 or 3 people are of the name of the Jesus, he's between them. Power is more. That's why about let's go of the financial things of the paida. I did different workshops, of course, over 50 or maybe more. And I've been charging people from abroad, Bulgarian people, different price. Now I came to this idea. 3 options for people for workshop, 3 options. One option, you're welcome for free. Pay your hotel, pay your accommodation. Second option, donation. Maybe somebody will donate so much, maybe less, I don't know. But people, we want to pay. Wait, certain. I'm going to do in a week. I have about 10 people, 9 or 11 people in a week. And we want to pay. Okay, I say, you see, my treatments, acupuncture here in the practice, is my price is, I say, 30 euro. That's my treatment. And if you want, that's going to be your daily price. If you want some more, you're welcome. Your decision, make a freedom, make people not be stressed and cramping and things like that. Of course, in US, there is a rich people, they can give a donation. They can understand what is this. And if you have this discussion between them, and they will understand if what they can save going many ways and saving their health during simple paida lajin, is more worth, more natural. And yeah, that's my comment of our discussion. Pablo, you don't have to have a fear about that. You say, that's belong to anybody. It's a simple exercise. Why you're not treating the people? Of course, Jean is doing some paida, but I'm doing also paida. When I'm doing, I start, it's a very good, and I appreciate and I recommend it. Once per week, I try to have 2-3 people. Once per week, 2-3 people. And those people who already been last 10 weeks, they will come to the workshop. They've been from some other places. From my town, they come regularly. And this Anna Maria, she will come with her mother. And the parents know that many years, but now she began to come, and that's make it. And I say, no charging, nothing. And if you say that, but there is a universal law. Of course, we need financial support for our daily life. But if we give, the universe give us much more. And you cannot wait somebody is ringing. But why somebody is ringing and asking? Because they've been everywhere and who we are. We are normal people. We are not the gods, I say to them, because they've been in many hospitals, many treatments, no result. And they have to know that it's a process, and they have to do that, one workshop, next workshop, and they will have a result. And that's why we have to speed slowly. We are the beginners. And of course, we will have some difficulties, but we will have some solution because we have a understanding. We have a head on our shoulders, and we will have a solution. Okay, Peter, I'm going to stop and you can continue because I see you holding your hand. Peter, you're next.
No, I didn't really have anything to say. I'm just putting my finger up saying I agree with you.
Ah, super. Thank you for that. Thank you. But
Thank you,
anybody who wants to continue, or Pablo, don't have a fear, Pablo. Concentrate, help yourself, share your result, tell to the people that they have options as well if they want. If they want to show, yeah, you can show, yeah, and tell them the truth, and then that's the way. Because we are the basement, like we're not Jesus, but we want like a students of Jesus or things like that, because this is beginning.
Well, I'll share a little story, a quick story with you guys. My neighbor for maybe 10 years across the street, I don't know how we started talking, and he invited me to, we started talking about the Camino in Spain, to walk it, and he's a traveler, so, but he also goes hiking. So I went for a hike with him. He's Chinese. He's a surgeon. A surgeon. I said, wow. So I thought, and when I mentioned paida at first, he said, I don't believe in that stuff. But we made up to go for a hike one morning last week. And during the week, we started talking. I don't remember how we started talking, but I started talking to him about, well, I picked up a stick and I started doing that, and he started questioning. I think I showed it to you guys last Monday. I had come from the hike.
Yeah.
And by just to make the long story short, I started talking about how I paida, why I paida, how it has helped me. And by the end of the hike, after that meeting we had last Monday, he came to the house to ask me more information. Spent about an hour. I show him what I do. I show him the charts. I show him how I paida, the lajin bench I have here. And I haven't heard from him yet, but I know he's probably doing it.
Yes. So Pablo, that's the way to do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I never miss an opportunity to tell anybody about paida lajin. So anybody I meet, stranger, new person, I tell them. If I see a level of interest, I go ahead. Otherwise, I withdraw. So as soon as there's a level of interest, they say, oh yeah, tell me more about it, what it is. Then I go deeper.
I was surprised because his first reaction was, I don't believe in that stuff. And then by the end, later on, he came over and he was really into it. Because I talked to him, I think he was taking medicine for his prostate. And I spoke to him about how it had helped me there in that area. I think that was one of the draws.
Oh, super, Pablo. Super. No pressure, no pressure, no any pressure.
Right. Yes. I would like to share with you that actually from last August on, I start to build up some community in the WeChat application. And then because there is a limitation in the community with 500 people for one group. So I start with the first group, and then I share all the method and in that group, and then the people will practice based on my instruction in my menu, and then they will come and ask me questions in the group. So I answer their questions and then encourage them to practice more, and then they also share their picture, and and some improvement and some some questions, and then I answer them every day, almost every day. And then you know what, after this group, and there are more and more group each month. So until now, I have built up the eighth group. So each group have 500 people, and then I got to answer their questions every day in the morning, because there is a time gap. So in the morning I will answer their questions, and then in the late afternoon, in my time, I also need to answer their questions about this. But you know, yeah, more and more people will invite their friends and their family member to join in the group, and then they would like to learn and practice. Yes, of course it's for free, but I can see the people have that kind of motivation to learn, and because more and more people will share how they feel after the paida, and then they will share the effect of the paida, and you can see this can also encourage other people in the group. And I also make some summary and then write some story about their sharing, and then I will post to the to different group to share more of this information. So yeah, I can see that the people will enjoy this kind of practice and enjoy this kind of activity in the network, because the network, and I also see there are some local community network, community application in US also. There is a meetup. I don't know if you know about that. Meetup. This is also some application.
Oh yes, meetup.com.
Meetup, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
they do have this kind of.
Which category did you select, or did you make a new category?
I haven't started, but I would like to try because I see there is many group in the Portland area, and then they share about the religion, they share about the yoga, meditation, and then the other kind of health activities things.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a WhatsApp group. Do you say it was a WhatsApp group, Jen?
No, Meetup.
Meetup.
Okay, that's
MEET, meetup.com.
Oh, okay, great. That's a good idea.
So Jen, are you on Zoom or on Facebook? What I'm sorry, what are you on?
Well, for the Chinese people, we seldom use the Zoom. I just use the WeChat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I most of the time I just share some article and some menu and word and yeah, I didn't use the video like what we are doing now.
Okay.
Yeah, because you know there is 500 people, so if I use the video, I think the network cannot support it.
No, that's what I didn't understand. And Meetup, is it in person now or is it on Zoom? Does anybody know?
Well, so meetup.
It depends upon where you live. Yeah.
Well, meetup.com is a website, and you can create a group or join a group in your local area. So they can meet locally, or they can set up a separate Zoom call or whatever. So it is just to connect people together in a group meetup. Yeah. So this is very good suggestions. And Carmen, I like your idea. I mean, it is free and donations welcome, right? And most of the people, once they see the benefit, they would like to contribute whatever they want to, right? And that's,
you know, that fellow Steve that we met in the Denver, the one from
oh yes, yeah.
Steve, he does a thing where it's just word of mouth. He treats one person, he says, yeah, if you want to have other people come, that's fine, I'll explain it. And he charges $50, but he says it's not mandatory. He tells the people when they come, if you don't want to pay, you don't have to, you know, but he does, I think once a week, a Tuesday, he has up there in Morrison, Colorado, you know, which is by Red Rocks up in the, you know, foothills there. And he'll go over to this one guy's house and he charges $50 each. And sometimes he has a house full and sometimes it's just one person. But
Oh, for paida lajin?
Yes.
Well, that's a good idea, right? This is how you propagate, right? So you have probably, you may already have a market in Denver area, right? In Colorado, right? If he has
Oh yeah,
created.
they do. I think they do in Colorado because it's a bunch of hippies, you know, and you know, climbers. We call them tree huggers, you know, people who like to go climbing on the rocks and people who eat well and all that stuff. You know, it's a thing in Colorado. Granola crunchers, whatever you want to call them, they're all into it. And that's how because he's a rock climber, Steve is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he goes rock climbing. And the other thing I was thinking of, real quick, you guys, I hate to hog this, but I was thinking of Pablo and his basement. I don't know if anybody on here follows this young fellow on, he's on, you know, Facebook, on YouTube, but he has a really weird ability to learn a language super easily. And he's only in his 20s. So he goes around and learns languages, and then he goes to different countries to freak out the locals because he's a white kid from New York. And he's learned Chinese, he's learned, you know, I mean, Chinese, Spanish, you know, every other, but the really hard languages too, like what they speak in New Zealand and also Navajo and all this.
Wow.
Well, he went somewhere, I don't know if it was in New York or if it was in China, but there was a fellow sitting on the sidewalk on one folding chair, and then he has you sit across from him. And if somebody walks up with an ailment, he's like a street performer, only he's a man who does paida. And
Wow.
he has rocks and all these kinds of things. So the kid who learns the languages thought he was pulling a trick on the man by saying, hey, you know, I don't know if it was Szechuan or Mandarin or something very difficult. And the old man said, hey, you know, my language. And then there's, you know, you can see the words going by in English, the subtitles. Anyway, he said, yeah, I had shoulder surgery. The kid says to the old man, and the old guy grabs a rock and he starts banging on his shoulder. And he stood up and, you know, started wailing on that knot. And the kid was like, it's too hard. It's too hard. And the words going by, the man was saying, quit being such a baby. You're on camera in front of your peers. Stop being such a baby. Anyway, he fixed the kid's shoulder, and he also had an ankle problem.
Wow.
I'll find the video and share it with you guys, but I was just thinking of Pablo. He could put a little sign up that says, if you have a sore knee, come on down or something, you know. It can be as fun as that, Pablo. I wish I lived in your town. I would do it with you every day.
You will come over, yeah. That would be great.
We have the personality to drag people in off the street.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well,
that's what
I am interested, and that's part of the reason why I want Tony and the people from, you know, Janet to do this, because I wanted to propagate in Costa Rica also. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, I bet it will be much more acceptable in Costa Rica.
Yeah, and I envisioned that one day I would tell you guys, meet me in Costa Rica in this blue zone where Tony is, and we could just be under a nice canopy and we could all paida together with the locals.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Tony's got a nice thing going down there.
Yeah.
Growing food in the blue zone. Really neat.
Yeah.
I don't think Yuri has joined, right? Because he does the meditation.
Wait, I want to do the reading.
Oh,
don't forget the reading.
If Yuri is not there, of course.
Do the reading.
Okay, so
reading.
Thank you. Calm down, everybody. So I'm following last week's reading where Mahara read page 208 and 209. I'm going to continue with page 210 because she got me into it. The title on page 210, if you have the book, says, where should I slap to heal? And in parentheses says, fill in the blank. So Master Shao says, this is the most frequently asked question. It reveals a mode of thinking typical in modern medicine. Get rid of the symptoms instead of the cause. This thinking is linear and compartmentalized rather than holistic and systematic. As a reminder, all diseases are complex diseases based on meridian blockages. Even a mild cold, a cough, a fever indicates immune system disorders. chronic diseases are a combination of many things. In other words, the blockages of multiple meridians. That's probably what I have. Systematically practice paida lajin in a systematic manner. I'm going to read that again. Is everybody with me? Okay. Systematically practice paida lajin in a systematic way. Don't just slap a certain region for the sake of curing a particular symptom, unless it's an emergency. Huang Di Ni Jing and the Tao Te Ching provide theoretical guidelines for paida lajin. Yin-yang interactions, the meridian system, and action through inaction. Can I read that again? Yin-yang interactions, the meridian system, and action through inaction. As stated in the two classics, are indispensable for establishing an understanding of paida lajin. Beginners can read the Journey to Self-Healing serials in Chinese or English on our websites. Hardback and paperback Chinese editions titled Journey to Cure were published in Taiwan on the Chinese mainland. You can get a glimpse into Chinese medicine and Western medicine in their respective historical and cultural background. You will gain background knowledge in Chinese medicine. Disease names can be quite misleading, although they can also be useful for communication. Wow. Descriptions in different parts of this book may overlap and seem repetitive, but we need to emphasize here, all illness is complex and different diseases can manifest in the same, can manifest the same symptoms. The nature of disease is yin-yang imbalance. That's our problem, yin-yang imbalance, caused by meridian blockages. The most essential task is unblocking the clogged meridians. Temporary exacerbation of certain symptoms during this process is a good thing, which we call healing reactions. Healing reactions. The intertwining danger of a seeming decline in health offers an opportunity for thorough cleaning. We receive steady requests asking us to disclose the secret of paida lajin for healing certain illnesses, but people will invariably find the so-called secret formula is simple common sense. There is no secret at all. The greatest way is the simplest. And he continues to say, how long can we live? But I'm going to stop here because I want somebody else next week to maybe pick it up or pick another one. What do you think?
Right on. That was great.
Yeah, that is good.
Thank you.
I think David has raised his hand. David?
David?
Yeah, I could do a reading next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
You know, one thing that just popped into my head though, I was thinking, you know, you can get bumper stickers that might say, you know, what is paida? Or, you know, with maybe a phone number, or do you have pain? A phone number, or one of those signs that can magnetic stick to the, you know, the door of your car or something like that. You know, there's probably numerous ways that we can really take the next step. And I love this workshop that we're doing here, and also practice. I mean, I've just told people, hey, oh, here, I send you a website, go check it out, go to practice. So it's increasing, and you want to just make awareness that there is other alternatives, especially now, as we just came out of this COVID thing, people are, you know, their ears are open to alternative healing methods. That's it.
No, well spoken. That is true. That is so true. Yeah.
Well, this caught my eye because, you know, with my issue of tinnitus, or with this issue, sometimes I wonder, what should I paida? And is it always around the ear?
Yeah. Be very systematic.
So it's not necessarily around the ear. It could be,
Right.
the problem could be somewhere else, far away from the ear.
I wonder, Pablo, I have a friend who is who has tinnitus, and
yeah.
he's watched a couple of the videos, but he's a little bit of a shy person. Do you think sometime you would be on a Zoom call with me to talk to him about it?
Absolutely, but I don't know how he will take to somebody who still hasn't overcome the problem.
Well, you have seen improvement.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't be afraid.
But the answer is yes. I'll be happy to do it, Jackie.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. And I also asked Sam to look in on a young lady who's over in Oregon, and I'm trying to arrange that for you too, Sam. Thank you.
Okay.
Dave, Sam.
Yeah.
Peter, whatever we call him.
David.
I answer.
Is it David, Sam, or Peter? I don't know. I've heard three of them.
I think he'll answer to whatever. He knows who he is.
I will.
What do you prefer?
Well, basically, during my work history, there were so many Davids that I went by Sam, and that's my middle name. So it made it easy because no one had that. So really, I answered either one. When Pablo said, Peter, listen, I'm going to answer to that no matter what. So choose your poison, I guess.
Well, if you tell us which one, we'll
Well, Sam is okay. Yeah.
All right, Sam.
All right. So
Yeah,
rather than David, got it Sam.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think last week there was a guy came to my house, and then he also want to learn the paida, and he used to be a baseball athlete, and he hurt his elbow and knees a lot. he said he have to do several surgery on his elbow and his knees, and so that he suffer from the pain so far, and then he want to try this paida method and to heal himself. So I teach him to paida, and then I also demonstrate the paida.
Whoa! Look at all that shaw. Jeez,
Yeah.
Louise.
On his knee, yeah.
Whoa!
Okay, so he just buy the stepper for me, and then he also want to make an appointment with me to let me help him to do a carpet bombing around his knee area. In next week. So he's a black guy. So I think this method can really help him.
That's
So,
really cool. Keep us up to date.
So yeah, I think more and more people will want to try this method, in my opinion, because the pain problem in the US is quite popular, and then many people suffer a lot, and they don't like to have so much medicine. So we can always start with the pain problem healing by suggesting to use the paida.
Right.
So Jin,
I think you could talk him into coming to this meeting once you get more familiar with him.
I think he okay.
Maybe
Yeah,
he would inspire.
Actually, he know me from the Facebook our community.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think he also can. I will remind him to join this meeting in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat.
So
That'd be really
Jin,
neat.
So Alice, yeah.
so Jin, if someone has had surgery
Mhm.
somewhere and they're better because they had surgery, but that doesn't mean that the meridians are unblocked, right?
Well, after the surgery, the surgery itself and the hurt itself could really build up some blockage inside the body. So even after the surgery, there were still some what we say is a bad blood stay inside the joint area, which is blocking their
so if someone has cancer, say, and they remove the tumor, say, let's say the cancer's in the stomach, and they remove the tumor and they heal, and all the cancer is gone, but the blockages in the meridians are not necessarily going to be fixed.
Well,
right?
Yeah, we always think that this kind of there should be some more or less the blockage inside the tumor area, because the surgery itself cannot remove all that, and also the surgery itself create a new blockage.
Create a new blockage. Okay.
That's why the paida can help to remove the blockage and then improve the recovery.
Okay.
So Sam, you raised your hand. Did you want to say something again?
No,
I want to ask.
No, I didn't have anything to say. I was.
All right.
You're practicing raising hand. Okay.
I want to ask a far-fetched question, but is there a paida for what for somebody who wants to stop smoking or drinking for vices? Is there any recommended paida?
I think Master Shao has that in one of the chapters in the book, if I remember correctly.
Really?
Yeah, I think it is there.
I think a good start is to let them try to paida their elbow first, and then when he can see the sha come out from the elbow, and then you will remind him that, okay, you see this kind of blockage. This is the result of the drinking too much, and something like this, smoking too much, and because there is the lung meridian along the elbow. So when he see the blockage, and you can remind him, okay, let's take a look at your lung meridian. So much blockage, and then it really creates some symptom, right? He will have cough and some symptom after he drink or.
Oh, Jen, you've gone mute. We cannot hear you. I don't know what happened. But you're not.
Okay.
Yeah,
now
all of us hearing. Yeah, all of us.
So that's the logic. You just let them try.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because when they really see that this is the evidence, and then maybe just after paida the elbow, he can really feel some different, and then you can prove it. Yeah. When they really can see the bad side of the drinking or smoking, and then they can really try to stop that.
Okay, I think we have passed an hour of our time, so we will continue next week, next Sunday, but meanwhile we'll have practice session tomorrow, and Jackie will have 2 more practice sessions, Wednesday and Saturday.
Yes. And if anybody wants to start another time, I'll do any other time. The Wednesday and Saturday mornings were a continuation of Young and Joanne's practice. I just made a Zoom call out of it, but if anybody wants to do a nighttime one or anything, I will jump on, start the Zoom call, keep track of it, do the invitation any other time.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'll let you know, because I have classes on Saturday.
I know.
Yeah.
I forgot about your class. Yeah, you guys, but
that's okay.
You want to do a Saturday night, Friday night, anything, man, I'll do it.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll let you know.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. Thank you again, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.